So what we have done so far is we have learned how to, draw, body figure. We've learned how to draw um, facial features, head proportion, and all that. Okay, so we have gone from the basic of understanding shapes, basic forms, and twisting them, turning them, you know, rearranging them so that they become malleable for us to use like clay. But in this case, it's more for flat drawing. Okay, so after that we have learned. I have taught you guys how to draw, figure drawing, as well as facial features expression, the head anatomy, and just last week we learned about the anatomy of hands and feet. So if you guys have followed along, congratulations. So today is the topic is about combining it all together and trying to create something out of the practices that we have done previously. Okay, all the practices that we have done in the previous classes, it all will be rounded up in today's class. All right, so now I am going to sketch some character. I'm going to sketch the character design, and I want you guys to understand, okay, based on the screens here. As you can see, I have different layers of pictures. Okay, so for your case, because you are going to draw in your sketchbook, you can either you can include this reference in your submission file. Okay, so please include the references in your submission file, as well as your drawings. So I don't want you to submit just drawings. At the end of the day, I don't want you to just submit your drawings, but I also want you to save the images. Now if you are having trouble downloading the images from the internet, for example, now the easy way for you to do is to screenshot the images from, either if you're using your phone or if you're using your laptop, you can screenshot the 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 images that you use for your character design. Now you are going to follow my tutorial, because I am going to do one full page, I think about 3 drawings, and I want you guys to do a bit more on your own to show me that you can actually follow according to the method that I am teaching you guys. Alright, so I'm going to show you 3 types of drawing. One is drawing a female, another is drawing a male. They're actually the same, so you're gonna see a lot of me comparing the similarities between the methods of drawing. And at the third one is to draw characters that are more fictional. So in this case, we are gonna design a character that looks like some sort of wizard, and another kind of wizard. So there are different versions of reference that I'm using. Okay, so you can actually refer from here, and then you can see how I do it. All right, so now the first thing that I wanted to do is, again, I'm going back to what I have taught you guys in the previous classes. Okay, I'm gonna label this as female character design. Okay, so first of all, I am going to prepare my brushes, and by pressing brush, and then I'm gonna start with the action line. So the action line, okay, what I taught you guys before, this is not desirable. Okay, the action line, that is not desirable. So in this case, I'm gonna draw it in red color. Okay, I'm gonna draw this in red. I'm just gonna add a small little curve here. Okay, little curve. Now I'm gonna identify where the top of the character is, and then I'm gonna draw it on a different layer here. Okay, I'm gonna identify where the head is. Okay, I'm gonna identify how the character's head looks like. Okay, how big is the head. Okay, depending on the size of your head, and you can actually measure. So in this case here, if I were to measure 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's a 4 head size character. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw it a bit lower, and I'm just gonna draw the bottom line of my character there. Okay, so on that different layer, I'm gonna draw the head size. I'm just gonna draw in the measurements. So that's about 1. You can measure this either with your pencil or your ruler. It doesn't matter. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. Okay, again, based on the tutorials that I've shown you guys previously, draw the neck in. Okay, just a small portion of the neck. It doesn't matter if your character doesn't have a neck, then you don't have to draw in the neck. But I would say at this point, draw in the neck because you want your character to look proportionate, right? And then you're gonna draw the body. Again, there are 3 parts of the body. First is the upper body. The upper body is where your your rib cage is. Okay, so that is where your rib cage goes, like that. Okay, and then there's a middle body. Is a very small part of your body where it pivots the movement of your body. If you were to stand up and you were to rotate your body, then this is the point where the rotation happens. Okay, so that you can turn your body to the left and you can turn your body to the right. And just right below that, you have the lower body. The lower body is quite small as well. Okay, so just a bean shape there. Alright, and then from there you're gonna identify the 2 points like what you see on the screen, and then you're gonna draw a line. It doesn't have to be straight, yeah. It can be straight if you want to. Okay, but not as straight because you are following the curve, the line of action. Okay, again here. Okay, so you're kind of like spreading your feet out. Okay, you're gonna show that. So please don't draw your character too wide, like for example here like this. Okay, and then your ribs is too big. Okay, ideally it's not desirable. I mean, for my tutorial, because I want you guys to draw as proportionate as you can. You can change the proportion later on, no problem. If for example you want to draw something like, you know, a head, and then, you know, a very small body, and then you want to emphasize on the leg, for example, then that is your character. Okay, so in this case it's fine, but for now you just draw according to the tutorial that I'm giving. Okay, because we are drawing creatively. We are not following the live drawing class. Okay, the aim here is for you to be able to design a character with personality, or character with you know, their own look. Okay, so you want to be able to express yourself. Okay, so I don't mind if your proportion is off just a little bit, it's fine. The most important thing is that you show what you have, the creativity, the process, the design process, the references that you use, for example. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the shoulder, just right on the edge of your upper body. Okay, on the high part, just next to your neck. Alright, so there's a line here. This you're actually the collarbone, and then um, you're gonna draw the elbow. Okay, plot where your elbow is going to be. Okay, your elbow is always, when you put your hand straight down, your elbow is always there on the lower, on the in between your upper body and then your middle body. Okay, and then your hand from shoulder to elbow and from elbow to your hand is the same distance. Okay, I'm talking about the line here. Okay, I'm talking about here to here. Okay, it's the same. So those are just things that you need to observe in real life so that you get your character to look proportionate. Just like your legs. Okay, no matter how long your leg is, the knee is always in the center from the pelvis to the feet. Okay, it's always in the center. Okay, so if this is a piece of paper, when you fold it, and then it will fold like that. Okay, so this and this is the same or similar, like you would say. Okay, Yeah, so now we have our skeleton. I'm just going to show you an example of what you can do. So this is a no, this is a 4 head size. I have prepared a 6 head size example for you all. Okay, as you can see here, just gonna drag this down. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you want to draw it bigger or you want to draw it smaller. It's up to you, as long as I can see the details at the end. Right, so this is a 6 head size, and first, of course, I started with the same process, the action line, and then I draw the head. Okay, so that's 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then I draw in the skeleton. Okay, I draw in the skeleton, and that is an example of a 6 head size character. You can draw 6 head if you want to. Usually anime would follow this almost, let's call it a semi-realistic proportion, but for my class I want to focus so that everyone else can follow the tutorial, can follow the exercise. um, just draw the simpler version of the proportion. Okay, now what I want to do next is that I want to touch a little bit on the fact that, you know, a lot of people previously have asked me. This is one of the most common question that people ask me, is that sir, I don't seem to know what to draw, or I don't know how to draw, or I don't know how to start drawing, because I really want to draw. Sometimes I get really inspired but I get to, you know, artist block and all this. I said, never mind. Okay, if you, in this case, just start with the structure first. Once you already have the structure, that is your skeleton, you already know that say for example your client, me, wants a female teenage character. Okay, so that is my focus here today. I want to design a female teenage character, but you don't know where to start, or you don't know how to start. So in this case, once you already draw the skeleton, you already have the basic structure of what you wanted to do. Okay, the next thing that you need to do is to find the reference of what you wanted to draw. Okay, so I have actually found two reference images. Okay, these are my two reference images here that I'm not going to be focusing on these two. Okay, so I'm just going to mask those out so that it won't be disturbing. Alright, so in this case here, I'm just going to draw these two characters here. Okay, I'm just going to be focusing on these two characters here. First of all, like for this female here, I like the big glasses. Okay, maybe I'm gonna add that in. I like the blouse, you know, I like the shoes, but I think I like these shoes better. I like this skirt better, right? And I also like the fact that she's having like a big, you know, overcoat that hangs on her shoulder like that. So and then the hair are similar. Of course, the darker brunette girl has a more curly hair, while the redhead girl has a more straight hair but still a little bit curvy. Okay, so maybe we can try to take from these two aesthetics and we can actually apply into our character design here. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I am going to split this screen into two. You don't have to do that. Okay, so that I can actually use the reference while showing you what I am drawing. Okay, alright, so it will be very helpful for you to actually draw it bigger in this case. If it's small, it's fine. You can simplify the details. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw on top of that. So in this case here, maybe you want to erase it so that the structure became a bit lesser for you to deal with, or you don't see it so much. All right, and using I think a thicker line, or you know, a more sharper pencil and a more sharper line, you can actually start drawing the the details in. Okay, so for example here, I'm gonna turn off the structure line here. Okay, let's call this action line. Okay, this is the character design. Now where was I? Okay, now I'm going to add in the characters characteristic. Okay, so it's gonna take a brush, okay, or pencil or whatever, and then I'm gonna start identifying what are the elements of these characters that I wanted to add. First of all, you know that there is a head, okay, there's a face there, so maybe we can do the face later on, but for now we're gonna identify. I always start with the hairline. Where does it start? Okay, maybe I can smaller. Okay, so I'm gonna identify where the hairline starts, okay, and then I'm gonna draw in the shape of the head. Of course, the shape of the head doesn't have to follow exactly to the reference. It's entirely up to you how you want your character's head to look like. Okay, maybe your character can be of a three-quarter view instead of a frontal view. So in this case, you're gonna draw the head in. Okay, don't worry about all the cleanups yet, because later on you can do the cleanup. Just draw the rough structures first. Like for example, here are the ear line, then this is the hairline. Once you already have the hairline, then you already can identify where the middle line of your face, right? So this is the middle line of your face, and then my character at the moment is facing to the left, so I'm going to draw in the lines there. Alright, so that is going to be where, you know, where I apply the tutorials that I've taught you guys on the head tutorial the other day. Right, so I'm gonna draw in the neck. So in this case, there's going to be, okay, you can imagine that your character is all facing here, right? So I'm gonna draw in the neck. And then I can see some collar here. Okay, just gonna zoom it in and see how the collar looks like. Okay, so that's a nice looking collar there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and draw. Okay, so just identify how the shape of the character will look like. Okay, and I don't encourage you to draw detailed as fast as you want. Okay, as fast as possible. Okay, and I want you to identify first where the the shirt is going to be. Okay, like for example, there's the breast area there. Okay, then the skirt actually starts right below her chest area. Okay, and then you can draw the sleeves in. Okay, since you already have the structure, then you just draw it along according to the structure that you have drawn. Okay, so it's also an oversized sleeve. Okay, so it's an oversized sleeve, so you want to try to translate what you see and try to draw it on the paper. Okay, alright, so if you see the similarity between these two girls here, these two references that I have, they are both having a very high waistline kind of outfit, so that is okay for me to follow. Okay, which is exactly what I wanted anyway. Okay, and then you can see how the hands are drawn. Okay, just a simple shape for now is fine. Okay, so that they don't look too stumped, because a part of the hand is hidden from the from the sleeve. Okay, so next I am going to draw in the skirt. As you can see, both the skirt are actually right above the knee. So you can draw in the skirt. If you want to draw the ruffles, like how the skirt folds, right? I won't stop you from doing that. In fact, I don't mind adding some in my drawing as well. Now, the thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is how the clothes fold, right? So when the clothes fold, it's following according to the gravity. So you don't want your fold to suddenly fold here, for example, here. You don't want it to fold there. Okay, you want it just you have to simplify it a little bit so that they still look natural. Okay, so here, as you can see, there's a lot of folds here, but I'm only adding one or two because I want to keep it simple. I want my illustration drawing to be simple, but still showing the idea of the character, or showing the idea that this skirt is wavy and roughly. That's how you want to see it. Okay, and then I'm also going to draw in the shoes. So in this case, I want to use the girl's long boot. Okay, first I'm going to draw in the feet. Okay, the idea behind drawing the feet is that your knee, okay, needs to be the the part where your character would bend. So if this, for example, this feet is, for example, is on going to be pointing to the other side, then it must be showing some sort of curve. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, and here, when you rotate your character to the left, then you can see some sort of curve as well. Okay, so if you decide to draw your character like this, it's fine. You can also draw your character with cylindrical legs like that. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is what we call aesthetics. Okay, the choice of style that you're going for your character. So it's entirely up to you how you want your character to look like. Okay, so in this case, I don't want my character to be too defined. I want my character to be more simplified, right? I want my character to be more simplified, so I'm just going to give them a simple feet like that. Okay, just make sure that the size is similar as well, because you don't want your character to have one bigger leg than the other. Okay, that's going to look weird on your character. Then your feet. Okay, since this character here is wearing heels, so I'm just going to draw in the heels. I'm going to draw it a bit shorter, uh, not a bit shorter, a bit lower actually, a bit lower here. Okay, I'm going to draw according to what I see. And same thing here, it's just a mirror of what I see. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw in the boots. See, it's as simple as that. You only need to add a few lines so that your character looks like they're wearing boots. So you don't have to add in all these details of, the fold, the design details and everything, because those are actually in the details when you finalize your character. Okay, at this point I just want my character to look like like these two characters here, and that is exactly what I have done. Okay, so if I were to turn off the lower layer, the structure layer, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so you can see the body is actually like facing towards that direction. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and draw the hair. Now the hair, one trick about drawing hair is that do not draw the hair strand by strand like this. Okay, no, do not. Okay, what you can do is you can actually identify the shape. Okay, let me show you the technique, or let me show you what I mean by using a different color. Or here you can see that the shape of the hair, it looks like this. Okay, now we are not drawing portrait, so don't look at things very detailed and analytical. Okay, so you can see what I highlighted in red, those are the outline of the hair. So you try to follow that as close as you can, but you can simplify them a little bit. Same thing with this girl's hair. If you notice that if I were to draw the shape around her hair, okay, they are similar to the girl on the okay, they're similar to the girl on the left. Okay, so that's what I'm going to draw on my character here. I'm going to show a little bit of the face. Okay, and then I'm going to add in the frills. Same thing on the side. Maybe the hair is falling in front like that. Okay, what happens here? Okay, so this hair was the original line that I made, and this hair is the last line that I created. Right, so when that happens, never mind. Okay, you can just fill in, because hair is supposed to be volumetric. Okay, it's supposed to have volume inside. So you just work your way out until you get a you know a head of a shape that looks like it's sitting right on top of your character's hair. Okay, then maybe I want to add, okay, so, and then maybe I want to add the facial features now. Okay, the nose is going there, and then that's where the eyes are. Sorry, the eyes are always in the middle, right? So that's where your eyes are supposed to be, and then your mouth. Okay, so of course the nose is not going to look like that in the end. I also want to give the glasses to this character here. So when you draw, make sure you're thinking about the 3D space. You don't want your character to look like they're wearing glasses that is floating on the air. Okay, so make sure that the circles that you're drawing, they are sitting right on the bridge of on the nose. Okay, and then goes to the back. Okay, so the good thing about this drawing is that we don't need to draw the ear in, because your character is having their ears hidden by the hair. So you can still draw it if you want to, because this is just a rough drawing. Okay, and then I want to add the head. Again, think about the 3D space. So if your hair is like that, okay, the head is like this, then you want to make sure that the rim of the head is actually sorry, is actually covering that part of her head. Okay, so drawing is a lot about analysis. It's a lot about observation as well. So if you haven't noticed that, throughout our tutorials, throughout our learning, I've always taught told you guys about how to observe. Okay, how to observe and how to create drawings that are your own drawing, your own creation based on images. Okay, so this is the idea, the trick. Okay, so am I happy with that? Does it look okay because the head is covering? Maybe this can be a little bit in front. Right, so there you have it, a character that you design based on the reference images that you use, suitable for the character that was provided for you. Okay, so if you want your character to look like this, then you can just find image references that are suitable for your character. Okay, okay, so now there's a problem here that I noticed, that the character is having the hand. Okay, because this is a 3/4 view, the shoulder is showing too much. Okay, so in that case you can actually erase this. Okay, I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to go back and turn on the structure lines. Okay, for you, you might already have the structure line on the lower layer anyway. So what you need to do is you can just shorten the length a little bit. Okay, so if that is your structure line, maybe you want to draw it shorter. Okay. Then instead of drawing it here, maybe you want to hide it a little bit, and then draw in the oversized sleeve, and draw in the hand. Okay, that's the structure. Now it looks much more um, better compared to what we've done previously. Okay, so that's it. Once you've already finished one character, I think it should be easier for you to follow the next tutorial, for example. Okay, because the next tutorial that we're going to do is a male instead of a female. Of course, females have different kinds of outfit, different kinds of fashion. It's more feminine compared to male that focus more on, you know, t-shirt, focus more on things that are much more simpler, right? So this is what I want you to draw. Okay, um, and this is just a rough one, because later on, I think in the upcoming tutorials, in the upcoming video, I will show you how to actually finalize a character design. Okay, alright, so now we are moving on to the boy character design. As you can see, I've already prepared a reference image for you guys to see here. Okay, I'm gonna base my character design of the boy on this guy here who is wearing a red, I think it's a red shirt, okay, with a stripe um, t-shirt inside, and skinny pants with white shoes. Okay, so fairly similar to what the girl is wearing. They are both wearing fabric. They are wearing shoes. So you can see that these characters, they are all you know, have some sort of fabric wrapping the body. So the idea is you want to pay attention to how the clothes are actually wrapping the body in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and draw the structure in. Okay, first I'm gonna draw the head. I'm gonna draw the head in. Okay, and draw in the neck, the upper body, the middle, then the pelvis area, which is the lower body, and then the feet. Okay. So since this character here is facing towards that direction, right, I want this shoulder to be hidden a little bit to the back. So that is the mistake that I made in the female teenager drawing that I did earlier, which I have to fix this part here. Now this is the boy, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure that the shoulder is not as you know, sticking out like that. So hide it a little bit inside the the, the rib cage. Okay, and then where the plot where the elbow is going to be, and plot where the hand is going to be. Okay, so in this case my character is just going to be um, having his hand down like that. Okay, so okay, this is where the knees are supposed to be. So once you already have that structure, again, if you don't know what to draw, draw the structure first. Once you already have that, okay, erase that a little bit so that you can actually add in the details. So the character design, I'm gonna go ahead and just get the fashion from this guy here. I actually have a few references here, but then I noticed that, you know, they're all wearing similar outfit, right? Except for this guy is wearing a suit. So for guys, you just pay attention to the collar, pay attention to the shirt, how it wraps around your body. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead and draw the boy now. Again, it doesn't matter what kind of shape that you want. In fact, for this character, maybe I want to give him a more squarish face. Well, this girl here has a more rounded figures. Okay, I'm gonna give this character a more squared face. Okay, maybe he's facing in front, almost to the front. Okay, like here. I'm gonna turn down the tone of the action line. So as you can see, I've drawn this ear here is bigger compared to the other because this character is facing towards that direction, slightly to the right. Okay, again, where your ears are is where your nose is going to be. Okay, the mouth. Okay, see where your eyes are. Okay, it's on the line of the ear. Then where your hairline starts. Okay, so that's the neck. And of course my character is looking to that direction, and he's wearing a shirt, an outer shirt. Okay, so the shirt is open up towards the front, and there's the collar there. Okay, it's just as simple as adding in the shape if you want to draw the collar. So you just have to understand how the collar moves in 3D space. Okay, how the collar moves in 3D space. Then you add in the shoulder, then you add in the sleeve. Now this guy here has a sleeve on the almost on the elbow here. Okay, keeping to the boxy aesthetic, I'm just gonna draw a line that connects to the structure. Okay, so that it follows according to the structure. Just draw the details in basic shapes first. Okay. This is the waist for the boy. Okay, and then we're gonna draw the feet. Okay, so that is the okay for this guy here. The crotch area is visible, so draw in the middle part. And then you can draw in the pants. Okay, as you can see, the pants is tapered at the bottom. It's definitely smaller here, so that is what I'm doing here. It's smaller at the bottom here. It's definitely a bit, you know, larger at the top. Okay, then draw in the shoes. Just a simple four-sided shape for the shoes. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, now I want to draw in the hair. Again, I want to show you how the hair looks like in a shape form. We have that fluff on the top, and then you also have that straight cut on the side. So it's the same thing, just apply it back on the drawing. Yeah. Okay. You have that straight cut, and then you have that fluff on the side. See, this is how you shape your character's hair. Of course, that's where your eyes are supposed to be. The nose and the mouth. Okay, I forgot on the girl, I forgot to draw the eyebrow in. So maybe just draw on the eyebrow. Make sure you also don't forget the eyebrow on the guy as well. Okay, so there you have it, the guy and the girl, the structure. So you can see here is a rough drawing of a male and a female. Okay, and of course I didn't spend so much time in paying attention to the details. As you can see, I just pay attention to the elements or the drawings that I wanted to add in. Okay, for example, here on the guy, okay, on the male teenager, I can add in, you know, a simple pocket. I'm not even gonna go and add in all the details, maybe just some sort of detail like that, just a line to show that there is a fold. Okay, nah, you don't need to add the button. Okay, maybe there's another one on the side as well. Okay, how the pocket rotates, whether you want to draw it straight or not, it's up to you on determine that and make sure that they are following the rotation of the body. Okay, as you can see, when I draw all this, I'm actually thinking about how the character is, um, how the fabric is wrapping around the character. Okay, maybe I can add in the detail for the shirt as well. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to add in the big V-neck and then also the stripes. That's it. Okay, that's simple enough for you to draw. Okay. You can shade it in if you want to. Okay. There you have your male character. It's as simple as that. Alright? Alright, so the last tutorial that I want to teach you guys for this week is to draw something that is not based on real life. To draw something that is not based on the things that you can find on the internet that is actually, you know, in existence. Like for example, a wizard character. So here I have two references of a wizard character here. This is much more like an apprentice. He's like a wizard in practice. Okay, so he's wearing like a robe. He's also wearing like a pirate shoe, something with you know, colorful belt and whatnot, right? So here is a much more older wizard, I would say, and these are two references that I can use in order for me to create my own character. Okay, maybe I can mix both of this if I want to. Okay, so what is going to happen, okay, what I'm going to do here is to try to combine these two characters and try to create my own version of a wizard. And it doesn't have to be like a, it depends, again, it depends on the profile or characteristics that you want your character to have. Okay, In this case, here I have created the the action line and the structure, okay, so that I don't have to show this again, the same process that I did with the characters that we've done previously, these other two characters, the female and the male. Okay, so female, the both the female and male characters, they are actually based on real life pictures, okay, pictures of a human being. um, but for this round, I am going to create a character that does not have a, or maybe it's very hard for you to find a reference of an actual wizard unless you find pictures from, you know, cosplayers and whatnot. And even then, it's very hard for you to get all the details in. So the only way for you to use the reference is based on, you know, animated or illustrations that people have done previously. So okay, let's analyze again. It's the same thing. Let's analyze again. Like for example, my character is a wizard. If the female is more rounded, the guy is more square, maybe this wizard I want it to be a bit more triangular shape. Okay, so they have that, of course they have that normal pointy head lah. Okay, maybe I'm gonna add that on top of here, which I'm not sure yet whether I want to add in or not. Then he has like a thick white beard, and then he's wearing a robe which goes down as a cape. um, Maybe I can stylize that a little bit. Now the similarity here is the belt. Okay, this old wizard and the young apprentice wizard are both wearing fabric belt that goes around their waist, so you already know where to draw the waist. And then they are both wearing some sort of hood and some sort of uh, long sleeve attire. Okay, of course the older wizard has no feet showing, and I want to focus on the feet, so I'm gonna draw the I'm gonna follow the apprentice's shoe. Okay, so I've already done here. This character is facing in front, which is also fine if your character is, you know, you want to show the front side of your character. Okay, depending on the pose lah, basically. Alright, so in this case, I'm gonna, sorry, I'm gonna tone down the structure basically a little bit, and I'm going to turn off the action line. Okay, before that, I'm gonna allow you guys to draw the character um, according to what I've drawn on the screen. Okay, you can pause now. Okay, and then once you've already drawn that, once you've already have this on your paper, okay, I'm gonna go and reduce that down a little bit so that you can actually draw on top of it, and I'm gonna erase the action line. For your case, please don't erase the action line. Just make sure that you add in the action line, you know, maybe a very light version of your action line. I don't need to see um, the details. The indicator is fine. Okay, having the indicator of the action line is also fine. Okay, now the structure here, I have already drawn the human in, and then I'm gonna study the characters, the characteristics of the character. Okay, a robe, maybe. Okay, maybe I can add in the white beard, maybe just a beard again, identifying how the shape looks like. So in this case, the beard is already covering the neck, so I don't have to draw the neck in anymore. That's the nose. Again, I'm just simplifying the shape that is already there. Okay, I'm just analyzing the shape of the beard. Maybe I can draw in the mouth first. I want a simple eyes. Okay, again the ear, I gave it a quite a triangular ear. Okay, maybe he's not full human. Okay, he is a fictional character anyway, so it's fine. Okay, so maybe I want to add in the head. Let me see how I can draw that. A bit of the hair, how the head is actually following according to the head shape. Okay, and since this head is pointed towards the top, maybe I want to fold it down a little bit. Okay, and when you fold down, don't think about folding it down towards the back like that. Okay, towards the back like that. Okay, don't do that. You want to fold it to the side a little bit so that you can actually see how the fold looks like. There you go. Okay, then maybe I want to give him this robe here. Just see how where the robe falls. Okay, so the shoulder is here, so the robe is actually covering most of his shoulder. There you go. Now I want to follow this guy's sleeve. Okay, if you want to draw a fold, just draw a small triangle like that and then continue drawing. Okay, the fold is definitely bigger at the bottom, okay, or at the end, because in this case it's not really the bottom, it's lifting up. Okay, and then the belt. Okay, both of these wizards have their belt. So based on my structure, I'm gonna draw the belt in, and I'm gonna add in the body like that. Okay. Then okay, see how the shirt, or the robe is actually covering most of the knee. Then draw that in. Okay, maybe for now, because we're not focusing on hand, so you can draw the hand very simple first. Okay, just a square like that, or a rectangle. 1 2 3 4. Okay, a rectangle shape to show where the hand goes, and then try to get the shoes next. How the shoes look like. Okay, you can refer to the drawing itself, how the shoes are drawn. It should be lower. Okay, so that's the wizard, the basic wizard. Now I want to add this robe or the cape, but I don't want the cape to be covering all these details, right? Because you see, these details here are very important to show your character silhouette. Okay, all these edges, okay, they are very important for you to show your silhouette. You don't want to erase all this. Okay, you don't want to hide all this because that's what makes your character unique. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna shrink the cape a little bit so that it's actually not covering a lot of the silhouettes. Even if it's covering, it's only covering like a part of it, and it kind of makes your character looks a bit more appealing. Just imagine if your character is showing this big robe, okay, like for example here. Okay, it actually kills the design of your character. Okay, it kills the silhouette, so we don't want that. So it's really not appealing. So instead I'm just gonna add a very short rope, for example here, very short one. Okay, it's also why the reason why you see the robe here is being folded in such way, okay, to create a nice silhouette for the wizard. Even here it's a bit folded to follow the silhouette of the wizard. Okay, in order for you to show a character that is very reserved, yes, of course you need to hide the silhouette so that it became a bit box, okay, a bit non-showy. But for my case here, I want my wizard to look as if he's a cheerful, dancing kind of character. So I don't want to hide the nice silhouette that I have done for him. Okay. In fact, maybe I can even erase this a little bit more. And then maybe I can add like a fold. See how simple I drew these details? There are only like a few lines here and there in order for me to create a shape. Okay. So I'm gonna hide the structure lines now, and let's see what we have. Okay, so this is my version of a wizard character. He is actually wearing a robe with another piece of robe that goes down as a cape, but the cape is folded at the back. All right, he's also wearing like a long sleeve with a very with a longer or a bigger opening at the hands, at the sleeve. And his I also shrunk down the head a little bit so that it doesn't have much, it's not too rounded, and I also use like a straight lines for me to create a head. Okay, um, this is my version of a character design, a very rough character design, I would say, because it's this one is just a technique for your drawing. Okay, so next I will revisit these drawings again. You either have to redraw the character on a separate page, or you may want to draw this bigger, maybe one page, per size, for example, one page per drawing, for example, for you to add in the details in. Okay, so in this case, my drawing I've only done 3 so far. Okay, I have done 3. Okay, one is female, one is male, and one is a fictional character. Um, my silhouettes are my character silhouettes are different depending on the the style that I'm going for. A bit more rounded and curvy for the female, a bit more boxy for the guy, and a bit more triangular for the wizard. So I want you guys to try and incorporate this. Besides this 3 drawing, I want you to um, draw at least 4 more drawing. The 4 drawings will be based on the proposal that you guys have done with me last week, and I wanted to see if you already have it, then never mind, you can show it to me this week. If you don't already have it, then you know that the minimum requirement or the minimum amount of drawing that I want to see from you guys is at least 4 lah. So we can I can actually guide you guys on how you can actually improve on the sketches that you have, and from that we will lock down your character on one final design, which you will have to design the expressions, the poses, the the details, and I will give you guys the list lah when the time comes. Alright, so that's it. Thank you very much for following the tutorial. I will see you guys again next week.